But either way, let's jump right into our power rankings, because this is something that we don't always agree on, and it's a pretty cool segment in our opinion. So we're going to continue to do it. And again, these are power rankings that myself and Logan come up with all on our own. You may agree with them, you may disagree with them, but let's be honest. There's a lot of experts out there that are throwing out their ratings, and in our opinion, I don't know why they're coming up with those conclusions, but we're going to tell you why we come up with ours. And I know what mine is. I have no idea what his is, because we don't discuss before, because that makes for a good little podcast in our opinion. So Logan, who is your number one in the power rankings this week? Is it the Dodgers again, or could it be somebody else?
It's the New York Yankees.
Oh, super excited, because he is not a Yankees fan, but he's got a lot of Yankee love this week, which is interesting for me. But I agree with you. I'm going to agree with you. It seems to be the Dodgers and the Yankees keep kind of swapping power rankings in ours, because the Yankees kind of were hot, then they weren't as hot as the Dodgers. But yeah, I mean, Yankees are 25-9, 7-3 in their last 10, and that run differential of plus 69 runs is pretty well. 14-4 at home, which you're supposed to get it done there. But what's more impressing for me is they're 11-5 away.
Yep.
Which
14-4, 11-5, 6-3 versus teams over 500. They pretty much handed it to the Jays.
Yep.
Their pitching's good.
Yeah.
They have allowed the least amount of runs, 98 in the majors. Second is the Dodgers with 104, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
The Yankees are flat out playing good baseball. I have to give them props, and I cry at night.
And they're getting it done against teams that are over 500, 6-3 against teams over 500, and they're continuing to win series, something that, any successful team has to do every time they're out there. Just win the series, and you're going to be a very good team. They just continue to sweep series, which they're on pace for a lot of wins.
Yes.
And a team that put up 100 wins last year, won the East, isn't too far behind them in Tampa Bay in the standings. So New York Yankees playing some great baseball, and unless you are a Yankees fan, you're not overly excited about it, and that's both of us. So I don't have anything to say about the Yankees. I kind of want to move on from it. So let's talk about our number two. Who's your number two?
The Dodgers from Los Angeles.
Okay.
Pretty much right where the Yankees are. Differential of 70, which is one more than the Yankees.
Yep.
They've scored 5 more runs, I believe. Allowed 6 more runs. They're right there with each other.
Yep.
I just kind of base mine on the Yankees have a few more wins, and Dodgers are 5-5 in the last 10. I don't really care who they played. I think the Yankees are hotter.
Yeah.
They're just playing good ball. Dodgers number 2.
Okay. See, this we're going to be a little different, because I don't have the Dodgers at 2. And a lot of people are probably, oh, you don't have the Dodgers at 2, but let me explain why I don't. I have the Houston Astros at number 2. All right. And the Houston Astros are, if not the hottest team in baseball, pretty close. All right. The Dodgers.
Let's just say they're the hottest team in baseball.
Yeah, because as you said, the Dodgers are 5-5 in their last 10, where the Astros are 9-1 in their last 10 games. But even more impressively, they got off to an 11-11 start, but now they are 12-1 in their last 13 games, which is wild. They have a plus 40 differential, which is still pretty good in baseball. And, they've kind of climbed up the standings there to overcome the Angels. They haven't played as many games as the Angels yet, but their winning percentage is obviously better at .657, and they're just playing great. They're 9-4 at home, 14-8 away, 10-8 against teams over 500. So they played, 18 games against really good teams, and they're still 23-12. So in my opinion, the hottest team in baseball, Houston Astros, they jumped a lot. But if you're going to continue to win, 12 games out of your last 13, you're going to climb a lot of rankings.
Good things are going to happen.
Yeah, they're healthy. They're playing good. They're not banging on trash cans. They're number 2 in my power ranking. So
that's fair.
So you guys might be able to guess my number 3, and I'll switch gears. I'll go first here, because my number 3 is the Dodgers, which Logan just covered as his number 2, and we know why. And in my opinion, they fell a couple of spots because of that 5-5 in their last 10, and they're not playing great baseball away. I mean, a good baseball team, which they are. They're probably going to be the National League champion, but they're just at this point, they just had an East Coast tour. They've been traveling a lot on the road. They're 10-7, which again isn't terrible, and they're 8-5 against teams 500 and over. But they've struggled against a couple of teams like Arizona, and in my opinion, they're number 3.
Houston, number 3 for me.
There we go. We swapped around.
Yep.
So yeah. So in your opinion, what made the Dodgers better than Houston?
They're the Dodgers, I think.
Fair enough.
I think that my foreshadowing or looking ahead still says the Dodgers. I think are a better team. Will finish
even
better.
without Kershaw now, who's on the IL.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I could switch. I could switch it.
Yeah, you could, but you can't now because you already went on record.
Nope, can't now.
So we had a disagreement, but still pretty much an agreement on our top three, just different order. And again, let us know what you would have as your top five, because we're always interested to see what the listeners and viewers like to see. So number 4, you go ahead with your number 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Mets.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
23-13, 5-5 in the last 10. Run differential of 35. 10-7 at home, 13-6 away, which is pretty darn good.
Pretty good.
9-4 against teams over 500, and they're the Mets. They should not have any issue winning this division as it stands right now. However, the Braves in Philadelphia all should be much, much better than they are. So you can see them making a push, but unless those teams decide to pitch, I might as well pitch for them right now.
Oh, let's not get carried away.
No, I shouldn't.
Okay. No, I've seen you pitch.
Whatever.
No.
I'm going with the Mets.
Okay, fair enough. We have another difference and a differential here. I have at number 4 the Angels, which I don't think you'll argue with me. And the reason that I went with the Angels, they're 7-3 in their last 10. They have a run differential of plus 57, which is 17 higher than the Mets. And the only thing why I even debated them around 3, dropping the Dodgers down, because with just the Kershaw injury and some stuff like that, but I just couldn't quite get them there because they are 5-5 against 500 teams that are over 500. So they've played 10 games against good baseball teams, and they're just at that 500 mark right now. But 12-6 away, 12-7 at home, pretty consistent. And they have some great people that are, I guess, a little overperforming. They have some people that are down in the minors and on their bench because of some people that are off to such great starts, which you love to see in a team. But I mean, they have so many weapons of just some guys that are playing okay baseball, and that hitting about that 200-300 between Duffy and and Ward and just some great talent out there, and some of the best hitting people in all of baseball are on the Angels, and they're not Mike Trout. So pitching's coming alive, and you have obviously Ohtani on your team, which is just a special talent. So that's why I had him at number 4 instead of who I have at 5. So I'll start off with my 5 because I think you're gonna know who it is, and you talked about it. It's the Mets. So I have the Mets at 5, and again 23-13, 5-5 in their last 10, run differential plus 35, and again they're great away. They actually, the only reason why they fell a little bit for me is it was the first time this year that they did not win the series. They've won every series that they've played. They've kind of had to come from behind in a lot of games. Their starting pitchers haven't been great, but I do have to keep in mind that they don't have DeGrom, one of, if not the greatest pitcher in baseball. So for what they have and for what they're doing, definitely a fantastic team to watch in the NL. Could be a contender, but I had them at 5.
Yep. McGill is on the either the IL or restricted list for the Mets, and I have the Angels at 5. So we're just swapping a little bit. The Angels scored the most runs in the majors, and in the American League are tied for 3rd fewest runs allowed.
Wild, isn't it?
The Angels.
Yes.
That's insane.
It really
Enough
is.
Said. That's all we need to talk about. The Angels are pitching, and they're hitting. Mike Trout's healthy. Ohtani's healthy. They're getting help. Are the Angels the story of the year? To be continued.
Ooh, they could be, especially when they get Aaron Judge, because that's where he's going to end up. Honorable mentions from me, and I think you will agree, in no particular order at this point, is Brewers, obviously leading the Central, playing great baseball. The Padres, playing great baseball. Again, the number 2 in the division. The Giants in arguably, but in my opinion, right now, the best NL West and the AL East are, in my opinion, the best 2 divisions in baseball. But I think the NL West is a little bit better. They got 3 teams over 20 wins, and you have Arizona and Colorado right at that 500 mark with 18 wins. So I had them as well. And the Tampa Bay Rays,
Yep.
Pretty much all the number 2 teams in the divisions that are fairly decent. So those were my honorable mentions. And, you never know in our power rankings. You could be a team like the Astros, come out of nowhere and jump to 2, and come back next week if you want to continue to see who we have. And again, for our power rankings, which are in our opinion, we just kind of look at them and, run differential and wins and, how they do against other great teams are kind of apparently what we're basing it off of. And I think it makes sense.
It does. Of course it does. We're doing it.